Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. And I know that I haven't posted a video in a couple of weeks, but I can talk about that in a different video. But this video is actually a new video on a new series that I'm doing, which I'd like to call Similar Concepts. So in this show, Similar Concepts, I'd like to talk about two pieces of literature which I think have similar concepts, so hence the title. And these can come from all walks of life or all kinds of literature. It could also be just general thoughts that people have, like for example, Taoism and Stoicism, but that's for a different video. So in this episode of Similar Concepts, we're going to be talking about two books, and I'm going to give you a little brief of these two books before we begin. So the first book we're going to be talking about is Think and Grow Rich. And Think and Grow Rich is one of the oldest books on productivity and business, hence the title Think and Grow Rich. So this version is the classic edition, and this book has actually been around for almost 100 years. So literally it was originally published in 1937. So it was published 83 years ago, and a lot of its principles are still being used to this day. And a little fun fact about it is it still to this day sells over 1 million copies worldwide every year. So it really tells you the value that you can get from this book. If you don't have this book, get it, and definitely it has helped people for years and years and years. The second book we're actually going to be talking about is actually from the Bible, and it's coming from the book of Mark. And some of you might be wondering, why would you use the Bible as a reference in literature? Now, the Bible is definitely a work which is completely amazing, and I think that it is honestly underappreciated. And I think the other funny thing about it is a lot of people ardently defend the Bible or its text or claim that they know what they're talking about, when in fact they don't really do a lot of reflection on the Bible themselves. A lot of people don't actually read the entire Bible, and they just pick out their favorite snippets. I think that the Bible as a piece of literature can also be reviewed. And in this situation, we're going to be comparing a part which is similar to a concept that I found in Think and Grow Rich. I don't think the Bible needs any brief. I'm pretty sure everyone's familiar with what the Bible is. But of course, if you don't know what the Bible is, it is a compilation of a series of books, and it is the Holy Scripture of Christianity and Judaism and some other religions. So the similar concepts we're going to be talking about today are actually from the book of Mark and a chapter from Think and Grow Rich. And this is chapter 3 on faith, and from the book of Mark it's chapter 11 verse 24. And I'm going to read that out to you. So it says, "Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours." And I think this is very similar to a part in Think and Grow Rich. So on chapter 3 on faith, and again this is the classic edition, it's page 41, he makes this claim. To make this deceit more realistic, conduct yourself just as you would if you were already in possession of the material thing which you are demanding, when you call upon your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind will transmute it into its physical equivalent by the most direct and practical media available. Any order which is given to the subconscious mind in a state of belief or faith, that order will be carried out. And he further goes on to tell us that a mind dominated by positive emotions becomes a favorable abode for the state of mind known as faith. So of course, as we'd expect, the Bible and Think and Grow Rich have kind of different views on faith, because of course the subject matter in which where they want you to put that faith is different. But what I think about in this verse of Mark 11:24. I think this is actually a little bit different from the other Bible verses which we usually encounter. Because usually, the usual kind of Bible verse encounters, you have faith in the Lord and He will provide. It's a lot of those kinds of themes and vibes which are repeated in many books throughout the Bible. But in this specific one, He's not actually calling on to us to have faith specifically in God. He's asking us that whatever we prayed for, believe that you have received it and you will receive it, or you will have received it. And I think that's particularly interesting. But of course, I'm not saying that he's not asking us to have faith in God. So, of course, probably beforehand or afterhand, he's probably already talked about having faith in God. But here's the difference. So, no matter how much you pray or no matter how much you believe, but at the same time you have this doubt within yourself whether or not you're going to get that thing, it's very likely that you're not going to get that thing that you're praying for. And this is the same thing which is talked about in Think and Grow Rich. So in Think and Grow Rich, of course, he's not asking us to believe in any deity or whatever, but he's actually just asking us to have faith, period. So he tells us about this concept, which is the infinite intelligence. And other people liken this infinite intelligence to karma, or other people call infinite intelligence God. And even Carl Jung is similar to infinite intelligence when he's talking about the universal subconscious mind. This infinite intelligence is Napoleon Hill's take on this kind of special something which is ultimately intangible but ultimately powerful. But long story short, why is that important? It's because he asked us not to have faith in infinite intelligence per se, but he's asking us in Think and Grow Rich just to have faith, period. Just to have faith that it will happen, or that something will happen, and it will happen. Because when we have a lot of these negative emotions that dwell in our mind, the negative emotions that dwell in our mind act as a negative end of the magnet, and it attracts the other negative things. So it's likely, if you're in a doubtful state of mind, you notice things which trigger your bias to being negative. So you become more and more negative. Whereas when you're in a state of belief or faith, it's likely for you to actually be in a more positive state of mind, and that will help you attract that good energy, or in this case, infinite intelligence, that will help you succeed in the future. So I guess the lesson for this episode is, whether you believe in God or not, if you want to be successful, there's always an element of faith involved. So a lot of times we are bombarded, or in life we are constantly bombarded with negative emotions. We're constantly, especially in this time of pandemic, let's not forget that we're constantly bombarded with negative circumstances. Like our plans change, something that we were working on doesn't pan out, and that puts us in a very vulnerable situation. But the way that you can read it also similarly in other success literature, everyone faces bad circumstances. But the question about how successful you're going to be is how you deal with those unpleasant, bad, or unfavorable circumstances. And in this situation, so both the Bible and Think and Grow Rich asked us to have faith. So that ends our first episode of Similar Concepts. I really enjoyed making this video compared to the earlier videos that I was making. If you enjoyed this video, or it added value to you in some way, where you learned something or you enjoyed listening to me talk, please leave a like and subscribe, and comment down below what are your thoughts on this subject matter, or also comment on what exactly you'd like me to explore in the future. The next episode, or maybe sometime down the line, I'd like to talk about a similarity between Taoism and Stoicism, but I haven't had that video planned out yet. It's still a concept, but I'm very excited to make that video. So that's it for now, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye and God bless.